you guys would love to bake something in your oven in the heat of summer and you just can't do it because it gets so hot in your house? I know I was like that, and I have a lot of friends like that too. Well, if you guys are new around here, my husband and I live off grid in this little 600 square foot cabin right over here. We live without any public utilities, and in the winter months I cook on a wood burning cook stove. In the summer months I cook out here in the outside kitchen. I have propane grills and we have wood heat and lots of different alternatives to cook with. So today I'm going to show you what I do in the heat of summer that I use the sun to help me cook, and we're going to do a really great recipe that I think the majority of you guys are going to really love, and I need one special ingredient. So come on, let's go get it. So many of you guys might have this shrub in your yard. It's called Rose of Sharon. It's beautiful, isn't it? I put a post out on Instagram last week, I think it was. I was talking about how this is one of my favorite edible plants and flowers to eat because it has a great taste to it. So many people had no idea that you could even eat it. And you can find Rose of Sharon almost all over the whole world. The flowers are just gorgeous. They make great teas. This whole plant, the bark on it, the bark itself and the leaves, the flowers, the little flower buds, you can eat it all. I just walked right out my front door and I have the greens and the flowers to make our dish taste amazing. Now today I'm going to be cooking a dish, but let's say you guys wanted to use some of these Rose of Sharon leaves. Get the tender ones for your salads. And if you can hear behind me, the hummingbirds are even excited about it. Now it's really important that you rinse these off before you're going to use them because sometimes the little ants get on them. See, there's an ant. See them crawling around in there? You don't want those ants. It looks like hibiscus. Sometimes they call it common hibiscus. Rose of Sharon is really a wonderful antioxidant, as well as it's loaded in vitamin C. And then in these hot parts of summer, when a lot of your leafy greens aren't doing their best, I like to supplement it with things like this. So they're rinsed off. And let's get cooking. All you'll need for this recipe are some farm fresh eggs. You'll need some greens from your Rose of Sharon, as well as some of the flowers, and I've put a few of the buds in there too. And then some seasoning, so if you want salt or pepper or whatever you want. And just cut your greens up. Just cut them up nice and easy. Today we are making just a simple frittata. I like to just beat up eggs. We have a lot of eggs here, and eggs are like a superfood. They're so helpful for you. Loaded with wonderful protein. It's almost a complete food. It has so much nutrition, especially in the yolk. Good fat for your brain so you can think. So if you guys are having problems thinking clear, have some good farm fresh eggs. I'm going to leave one flour. Next, I'm going to crack my eggs in there. I'm going to go ahead and put a whole dozen in there. I'm going to whip it up. I'm also going to add some onion to this. So I'm going to just do a little bit and then I'll save the rest of it for later. Doug will be so surprised. He's hungry right now, so I haven't made one of these in a little bit, so he'll be happy he likes these. The one thing with a frittata, you guys can put anything in it. You know, if you want to put greens from the garden or from the farmer's market, or if you have some meat you want to put in there. I mean, you know, possibilities are endless. So I'm just going to do the Rose of Sharon greens, the flowers, some of the onions, stir it up. And the one thing I like to add to this is just a little splash of water. I think it makes it a little fluffier. Now, of course, I need to put my Redmond real salt. If you guys aren't getting your salt in bulk, like me, you need to go to offgridwithdougendstacy.com and go to the shop tab and you can get a discount. And then I have some Mediterranean green spices. It's just a mixture of like oregano and basil and thyme, and I'll put a little bit of that in there too that I mix up. And then I'm also going to use some ghee, so I'm going to put some ghee in here. Isn't it beautiful? I'm going to put this in a pan. I am going to be using my All-American Sun Oven. I'm going to use the Sun to cook this with today. And when you are using your Sun Oven, if you already have one or if you're thinking about getting one, you don't want to use stainless steel, because if you use stainless steel when you're cooking, it'll reflect the rays back to the sun and it won't cook as well. You can use a pan like this, you can use glass, you can use these enamel pots, cast iron, any pan will work, but stainless steel or a metal pan that reflects the sun, don't use. All right, let's go put it in the oven. It's been preheating. Now, if you guys don't have an All-American Sun Oven, you really should, but if you don't, this will work fine in your oven. So I would preheat it to about 350. This has been sitting out in the sun, it's about 350. I got it in direct sun. And many people think that this isn't hot. It's hot just like an oven. So be careful, you'll burn yourself. So I'm gonna let it sit here for, probably about a half an hour or so, and I'll come back and check on it and see how it's doing. While we're waiting for my little frittata to finish in the sun oven, I'm gonna pick some blackberries. Aren't they beautiful? We had a rain finally. Now we're going back into another drought, but we had a rain and look at them, they just blew up. It's like as big as my nose. That's pretty big. So I think blackberries are pretty cool because this isn't just one fruit. Do you see how there's all these little bitty little bobble things on there? Each one of those is a seed and it's sort of like a separate fruit. So this is basically like an aggregate of fruits. So this is not just one fruit, you're getting tons of little fruits on here. And I love blackberries, they're so good for you. They have the whole alphabet. You got your A, B, C, vitamin E, K, you got potassium, magnesium, zinc, selenium. You get so many wonderful vitamins. Any of your dark berries like this are so wonderful for you. What's your favorite way to have these blackberries? Maybe I'll make a blackberry cobbler with some einkorn flour for Doug later. He might like that. Now these that you see here, these are thorned blackberries. I have to be very careful when I'm picking them because I don't want to get poked. But I find with the thorned blackberries, because we've had these for years, I also have the thornless, so I have a way to compare them. They taste better. They're always much bigger. They're always double the size than my thornless. The neat thing is they're very disease resistant. So I'm totally sold. I have to make sure I wear gloves if I'm going to prune them. There's a little bit more work to them because you will get poked. But I don't have to have as many of these because they are bigger and they have a much more flavorful taste. Well, wasn't that cool? It took about 30 minutes or so. The possibilities on this All-American Sun Oven are endless. Like I use it for a crock pot, so I can put like a chicken in there with some potatoes and some carrots, put it in there, just kind of put it away from direct sun and just let it set all day like a crock pot, and at the end of the day I'll have a meal. Something like this only took me 30 minutes, so I was picking blackberries, doing some other chores. So it's very simple and easy. It also is very versatile. It can purify your water. It can also dehydrate. So leave a comment below if you guys want me to do some dehydrating in here. We could dehydrate some of these leaves from the Rose of Sharon plant. But what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna put a little bit of cheese. You can put whatever cheese you guys like. I love goat cheese, so I'm gonna put some goat cheese on top. That little tanginess is perfect for it. Then I'll finish it off with my beautiful Rose of Sharon flowers. And I'm feeling really, really great today. Since you guys stayed to the very end of this video, we are gonna give away one of these All-American Sun Ovens. All you need to do is make sure you're registered at offgridwithdougandstacy.com and make sure you're signed up and registered. Once you sign up one time, you're in the mix. But you gotta watch all the videos because we're giving away these things and we're giving them away usually within a day. So this one we're gonna give away in 24 hours. So make sure you're registered, watch the videos, and be really careful. There's a bunch of scammers out there. You wanna make sure at the comments that there's a check mark by it because that means we're YouTube verified. If there's not a check mark by it, you know it's a scam, it's not us. So really be aware of these little scammers. You'll know that it is us. So I want you to leave a comment below that says, eat your Rose of Sharon. And then I'll know that you are ready to try to win this All-American Sun Oven. So have an awesome day, eat your Rose of Sharon, and bon appetit. Let's see how good this turned out. It's so good. Amazing. I gotta save some for Doug. You guys have a great day.